the barbell curl. Right away, we can see that tension on the biceps isn't exactly optimal. The hardest part of the range is when the elbow is at 90 degrees, and above that, tension goes down, and below that, tension also goes down until it reaches zero tension at the very bottom. And the very bottom is also when the biceps are most stretched. This most likely isn't ideal, but you'll still grow your biceps as long as you're pushing hard. And the barbell curl is very good for overload. The biggest issue is that the straight barbell puts some strain on my wrists. I think the barbell curl belongs in C tier plus, but I'll bump it up to B tier just because it's so accessible. The easy bar curl is the same thing, except the handles curve in a way that eases up some torque on my wrists. I'm gonna go ahead and bump it up to A tier. The standing dumbbell curl has zero tension in the full stretch, just like the barbell and easy bar curl. As long as you're doing both arms at the same time, I think the dumbbell curl belongs in low A tier. Doing your dumbbell curls as preacher curls immediately makes the exercise better. That's because by angling your upper arm, you actually pull more tension into your biceps in the stretched position. Preacher curls also lock your elbows in place, making it near impossible to cheat. So the preacher curl definitely belongs in S tier. And as for incline curls, since we now have that study showing that they are a bit worse than preacher curls, they have to go in a lower tier. I'm still putting them in low A tier. The lying dumbbell curl is basically just the more extreme version of the incline curl. You get this huge stretch, especially near the top of your bicep, close to your shoulder. But if you have shoulder issues, you might want to skip this one. And I'm putting it in A tier. Now, the Scott curl is basically just a preacher curl with a vertical arm, and while the man who it's named after had some of the most impressive biceps of all time, I don't think it's the best biceps exercise. It's basically just a worse version of the 45-degree preacher curl. It's going in C tier. Flat bench curl is basically a preacher curl with the bench angle completely horizontal. Doing curls this way will cause the highest bicep tension in the most stretched position. As a high rep burnout with a really big stretch emphasis, I think they're good. I'm putting them in low B tier. The machine preacher curl has the added benefit of being nice and locked in. They're easily going in S tier. The waiter curl. This is probably the most gimmicky biceps exercise I actually see people do. It cranks your wrists, the plate feels awkward, and you're limited with overload. I'm putting waiter curls in F tier. The drag curl does have potential, because by moving your arm back as you curl, you do put the bicep under a greater degree of stretch. However, as you curl, you're shortening the bicep at the elbow joint while simultaneously lengthening it at the shoulder joint. Even if there's no direct science on it, I still think the drag curl wouldn't grow the biceps as well as a more standard dumbbell curl. It's going in C tier.